So thank you very much to IFA Galaxy for inviting me. Very warm afternoon, very warm welcome to all of you. And in the mutual fund industry, we call post-lunch session as a graveyard sessions. I would like to thank Mr. Ramesh Bhatt, Apurva, Mr. Narayanan, Srini, Monish ji and Babu, who has instrumental in inviting me and making my stay very, very comfortable. I do remember that in 2010, when IFA Galaxy was inaugurated, I was the person who inaugurated this. So I have very fond memories of associating with this organization. Bill Gates once said that the smartest people on the earth are from south of India. And I am from north of India. And now we are listening from me. Isn't it very ironic? So, if you look at what is the most difficult task in the business of managing money in the financial services industry, is it a job of a CEO, operation guy, client services guy, sales guy, fund manager, economist, investment strategist, so on and so forth? In my opinion, the most difficult task in our line of business is getting money from the customer. That is my opinion, that is the number one task. You ask people how to stay healthy. Most people know how to stay healthy. But a person who will stay healthy is a person who get a call every day 6 o'clock in the morning, please get up, wear your shoes, get a yoga mat. So same kind of job is done by MFD, and that's why we are in the most beautiful business. You became mutual fund distributor. By the way, you didn't become mutual fund distributor. The destiny chose you. A noble cause cannot be chosen by somebody. It is a divine intervention, and because of divine intervention, it's become MFD. And MFD is a kind of business, MFD is a line of business in which mis-selling is impossible. It's like selling yoga, it's like selling warm water, where mis-selling is absolutely impossible. And we are selling mutual fund product. And let me tell you, mutual fund product among all the financial distribution product is the cheapest product as far as cost of intermediation is concerned. If you look at the bank deposit, the NIM margin is 3% to 4%. I just looked at ICICI mutual fund's result. They are managing close to 5 lakh crore of asset. The total salary bill and total administrative cost of ICICI mutual fund is 0.13% of total AUM. If I look at HDFC mutual fund data, it is 0.15%. The total cost of all the employees, all the branches, all the rental income is 0.15%. I think mutual fund industry is a revolution which happened, and we are going to see much better day as we go along. The business is very good. You are a destiny child, and let me tell you legal power. I keep saying this, but I still have to say this once again. You are here because you are MFD. And why you are MFD? Because MFI gave you ARN. And ARN, what is MFI? MFI is the mutual fund trade body. And what is mutual fund? A SEBI intermediary, SEBI appointed intermediary under the SEBI Act. And what is SEBI? A capital market regulator established under the Act of Parliament. So from the Parliament comes SEBI, from SEBI come MFI, a mutual fund, and from mutual fund come MFI, and from MFI come you guys. So your power flow directly from Indian Parliament. So you are an authorized representative of Indian Parliament to sell mutual fund product. So ethically you are right, morally you are right, legally you are right. Yeah, if you look at, this is the kind of opportunities we are looking at. If you look at total money which of Indian household, only 12 lakh crore is in mutual fund business. 20% more is actually there in other asset category. So the mutual fund journey has just started. So we are looking at very, very big picture. If I give you data for last 5 years, just hear me what happened in last 5 years. In last 5 years, interest rate was very, very low. In last 5 years, mutual fund industries collected close to 4,50,000 crore of asset. But the banking industries collected 9 times more money in last 5 years. So that we can clap, we can pat ourselves on the back, but we have a long journey to catch up, and this is what you're going to see going to happen to this country. Now, what is most interesting to see is that We have around 60 lakh crore of domestic household saving. 50% goes into real estate, where the investment performance is close to GDP, but we have all kind of challenges. 15% goes to bank deposit, 8-time growth in last 30 years. 15% goes to gold, where 13-time growth in last 30 years. But you look at allocation in mutual fund and equity, where the return has been 86 time to 100 time. In a product in which in last 20 to 30 years, the investor's wealth grew 100 time, and you are the people who sold that product. Now the question is, now please remember, it's good to clap, but I'll tell you reality check as well. You know a client telling you that I know this builder, and we know the performance of builder. A client with a lot of pride will say, I know this jeweler, and we know what jewelry business is all about. But maximum wealth is created by equity mutual fund and maximum wealth is created by MFD. The question need to be asked, does client tell us or anybody else, I know this MFD? Are you getting what I'm saying? And why this does not happen? And I explain you what can be done to change this. This industry, which has done so much for the investors' wealth creation, but still this country have, this particular MFD business have the lowest value accretion and the least glamorous of the business compared to any other business we know. And I'll try to figure out, I'll tell you what you guys can do to change the entire thing. If you look at any industry, the first level of growth come accidentally. There were people at the right place, right time, industry grew, they grew. But the next level of growth will come through sustained effort. So when in 94, Birla was there, Tata was there, these kind of organizations there, HDFC was there, they grew. But the next level of growth perhaps will come from the organization like White Oak. My friend Ashish is here, and he's doing fantastic job, I must say about that. On distribution side, regulator trying to do their own stuff, which is to bring the cost down. And the mutual fund industry is expecting a magic moment on distribution side. I do not think that is going to happen in hurry. Our business is not like a business of broking or online shopping or movie ticket booking where instant gratification is given. Our business is more behavioral driven. So you have yoga, which is 5,000 year old. You have warm water, which is as old as the hill. But these products cannot be sold through online. What can be sold through online is chips, cola, pizza, and noodles. Our business like yoga and warm water, it has to be sold through one-on-one interaction. And that is the reason what Jeff Bezos said is very, very interesting. He said, I don't know what will change, but I know what will not change. And what will not change, when it comes to serious money, people need hand-holding. So we are not going to go out of business ever. So whatever regulator do, whatever SEBI does, whatever other people do, whatever media do, we are going to stay here and we are going to grow. But can we grow much faster? That is what I'm going to look and explain to you guys. If you look at what we are observing, the news headline, but what is a mega trend? The number one mega trend is gold. Gold and real estate are the investment product. Their best returns are actually behind us. The mega trend is very clear. World produces 3,500 of tons gold every year. 50% of that is consumed by India and China, and 50% of that is consumed by rest of the world. The world is seeing very clearly to India and China and seeing the next generation of Indian and Chinese are not going to own gold. So in spite of high inflation, in spite of geopolitical risk, gold prices are not moving. The mega trends are very, very clear. Same thing in real estate. The world population till 1940 never exceeded 200 crore. From 1940 to 2022, over a 80-year period, world population grew from 200 crore to 800 crore. We have seen one time of urbanization and big appreciation in the real estate prices. The kind of money you made in real estate and gold is going to be part of history book. It is not going to be part of the future, in my opinion. Third factor to keep in mind that 16 lakh Indian moved out of this country in last 10 years, took out $400 billion of assets. 16 lakh Indian gave up Indian citizenship. I wrote about this around a month back. I got trolled But luckily in the budget we have TSC, tax collected at source. So this money will be available. So $40 billion will be available every year, which used to go outside India every year. So that kind of money is available. What we know what's Finance Ministry done about the insurance industry, MLD, ATC section is almost over. So the kind of money we used to go in NPS and insurance would be available to us. The regulator is coming and looking hard at PMS and AIF. So in my opinion, on one end, they may be looking at reducing TER, but on the other hand, the size of opportunity is going to be very, very big. What we have witnessed in last 30 years, in next 30 years, we are going to witness something very, very different. So first of all, easy money. Easy money made VCP get a lot of funding. So Ashish, I give credit to Ashish Somaya, who told me this for the first time, that in US market, alpha is not moving. It is moving from public market to private market. But now you see in year 2022, when the private market money dried up, in US market, we start seeing alpha. In Indian market, you're going to see more alpha as we go along. We are going to see globalization to near sourcing. It means the cost of production for reference point is not going to be China. It is going to be domestic cost of production. So interest rate are going to remain elevated. So in my opinion, great time to look at the fixed income product as well. And we are going to move away from geopolitical peace post-Iraq war. We are going to live in much more challenging global environment as we go along. What are the other important learning? Real estate peaked in 2012, but people continue to stay buying till 2015, and only after 2015 the real estate juggernaut has stopped. Demonetization gave big push to financial assets, and equity become the only alternate. And the lot of risk assets start moving first to the equity mutual fund, then to direct stocks, then to crypto. But just look at this. People have different reaction to risk asset. They have a different reaction to jewelry and different reaction to gold ETF. If they invested in gold ETF and the gold ETF is not showing investment performance, they may take money out, but they will not go and sell their jewelry. Similarly, in equity mutual fund, if returns are not there, the client may sell equity mutual fund, but direct stock he may or may not touch. Similarly, in the real estate, he may not touch it. So if equity mutual funds are not performing, what MFD need to do is, in my opinion, also need to focus on fixed income product. And in my opinion, right now from these level, fixed income are going to generate fantastic investment performance. And I give you some very interesting data. There's a difference between coupon rate and compounding, and these are two distinct items. People say I have a 10% tax-free bond. A lot of my clients say I have a 10% tax-free bond. I said you have a 10% tax-free bond, but were you able to compound your wealth by 10%? The answer is emphatic no. I started my career in 1990. From 1990 to 2022, or a 32-year period, petrol prices went up from 10 rupees per liter to 101. Wheat prices went up from 2 rupees to 27 rupees. Tur dal went up from 7 rupees to 108 rupees. So in all three essential products, the inflation compounded at 7.58 to 8.44% over a 32-year period. Please tell me which tax-free bond, which fixed deposit, which NCD compounded your wealth by 9% over last 32 years. The only investment product compounded by more than 8.5% was the debt mutual fund. Birla Income Fund, which is one of the longest income fund in this country, started in 1995. I was part of the sales team then. That fund has delivered 9% compounded return over the last 28 years. Only from 1995. If I add 90 to 95 for a 5-year period, the return rate of interest was 14-15%. If there was a debt fund in 1990, the CAGR over the last 32 years could have been close to 10%. Kotak Gilt Fund, the longest serving gilt fund in this country, launched in December 1998, completing 25 years, compounded investors' wealth at 9%. So in my opinion, when it comes to debt, there's no better alternate than debt mutual fund. When it comes to wealth creation, there's no better alternate than equity mutual fund. I am going to come to you guys across in next couple of months going to do intense training on debt mutual fund, and will explain you various nuances of debt investing. What we are also seeing is very, very interesting thing. And this is a very fascinating study I've done. I traveled to some 60, 70 locations in last 1.5 years. What I found is very interesting. If you look at any city, I started in 1995. So suppose in 1995, the top MFD in any city had an AUM of 5 crore. So in 1995, suppose you had an AUM of 5 crore, then you're top 5 people of the town. Next 3 years, the benchmark became 10 crore, then 25, then 50, then 100, then 200, whatever is the number. But what I found very, very interesting, that this select group, only one person enter every 3 years. So suppose in Chennai, there are 10 people in 1995. In 1998, only 11 people. In 2001, 12 people. So in this elite group, only one IFA breaks every 3 years. That's the one part. Number two, if you look at a outside metro or even look at MFD business, these big MFD have 60 to 70% market share in AUM. But when it comes to the gross sales, their market share come down to 25%. When you look at SIP, their market share come down to 25%. What does it tell you? It tells you there's a tremendous opportunity available for new MFDs as well as old MFD. I have seen many MFD follow very simple metrics. They tell me, Mr. Mantri, I got 100 crore AUM, I got 1 lakh rupees SIP. Now this 1 lakh rupees, 1 crore SIP. Now this 1 crore SIP will give me 12% growth. The 100 crore AUM will give me 12% growth, 20%, 24% growth. There's no other industry in the country which can grow at 24%. So that is the kind of number people are seeing. But I'm saying this is a very low ambition kind of growth people have. In my opinion, MFD can grow their business by 30 to 40% very, very easily. And it is my job to explain you how this can be done. India is a very interesting, India is a low trust society. What does it mean? The trust is either hyper-national or hyper-local. The meaning of that, we trust big national brand, HDFC, SBI, LIC, ICICI. So we trust hyper-national brand or we trust hyper-local brand, means our priest, our family friend, our morning walk friend. So we trust these people more than we trust a professional mutual fund distributor. It's a fact of the life. Now what we can do, IFA can combine both these things together. How they can combine? Because you can carry national brand, hyper-national brand, and you can create trust at hyper-local level. And there, if you look at my last point, it is very important point to see. Sunil Gavaskar became a great batsman because Vinu Mankad was a great batsman. Sachin Tendulkar became a great batsman because Sunil Gavaskar was a great batsman. Virat Kohli became a great batsman because Sachin was a great batsman. You see Pakistan bowling, Sarfaraz Nawaz, Sarfaraz Khan, Imran Khan, you Sikandar Bagh, Wasim Akram, Amir, you see. Every next generation feed on the shoulder of previous generation. So all senior IFA have responsibility to pass on this hyper-local trust to new guys. Mutual fund, see, gold is 3,000-year-old product. Real estate is multi-century product. Bank deposit is 200-year product. Mutual fund effect is only 20, 30 years product. It is a one lifetime product and it is a behavioral product. Don't expect magic to happen in one lifetime. When I took this in 1995, I was very clear, in my lifetime, I will not able to move the needle, but next generation will move the needle because we will pass on this hyper-local trust from us to other people. And that is like people like Mr. Bhatt, Mr. Narayan, and many dignitaries are doing here. And this is what IFA Galaxy is doing. You can convert this hyper-local trust, give from one person to the next generation, and the trust will continue. The way trust of a priest was established many centuries back, IFAs will become new priest of financial market. A laptop will come, computer will come. So what will happen? What technology will do? Technology will create horoscope. You can take computer to create horoscope. But what is wrong with your planet, only your priest will tell you. So that is a role IFA will continue to play. And in India, what is most visible is not necessarily what leads to something else. So for instance, if you look at 2001, for every one air traffic passenger, there were 450 train passengers. Now the ratio has come down to 50. It means that number of air traffic passengers shot up, the train passengers also shot up. Who made maximum money out of this? It's very interesting to know. It is not the airline industry made the money. It is not the train companies made the money. The biggest money is made by hotel industry. Because ease of travel, the kind of money hotel industry has made in last 2 years, they haven't seen in last 10, 12 years. So one thing doesn't mean it will lead to another thing. For instance, if you look at suitcase buying, when you see so many people traveling, you figure out that the suitcase buying is linked to people traveling. In India, you know how the suitcase are bought? 80% of the suitcase are bought at the time of marriage of a daughter. So, yes, marriage of a daughter. So what MFD need to do, again I go back to my friend Ashish who said something very interesting. In USA, the alpha is moving from public market to private market, but he also said something very interesting. The big money is moving towards solution. IFA need to give solution. You may be called as a mutual fund distributor, but you are not a mutual fund distributor. You work for your client. And to your client, you need to give them solution. And I am working toward creating those solutions and practice management. If you want the same respect as a fund manager get, then you need to work like a fund manager does. And here I have done something very, very interesting. Last slide of my presentation, practice management and how should you do it. And again, I learned from Prashant Jain, who was my colleague in HDFC Mutual Fund. Prashant Jain had this big library. If he made Infosys in 1995, he will have a notes of 1995 written. If he made Infosys in 2000, if he met any company, he will have his notes about that company in a file. And whenever the promoter comes and meet him, he will open the file before the meeting. He would know what this promoter told and what has happened. So he has a very good sense of what this story narrative was being said by the promoter. If you want same respectability, work exactly like him. Practice management and have done it very, very successfully. And I explain you how it can be done. I have seen that when MFD meet 10 client, prospect client, he's able to convert only 1 or 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. I have a MFD who convert 8 client out of 10. And how she does is very magical thing. Whenever she go and meet any client, she doesn't give any view to the client because she says, Vijay, client themselves give me view about the economy. So she doesn't do anything. She simply write on a piece of paper, sir, we have discussed so many things. Here is my opinion. You should do SIP into these 3 funds. Here is my zero risk equity portfolio. And then what she does is that she sends the performance of her advice to the client every quarter. The client has been told do White Oak Mid-Cap Fund SIP on the 1st of January of this quarter. So she will send as on 31st March, what is the performance of SIP done in White Oak Mid-Cap Fund. Then she will send the information every 3 months to the client. She does a very interesting story called Zero Risk Equity Portfolio, where she goes and meet a client and say, please don't give money to me. First see the quality of my advice. And what she does, she tells the client, Zero Risk Equity Portfolio. Sir, you have money in SBI FD, put the same money in SBI Ultra Short Term Fund. Whatever gain you are getting, transfer that gain into SBI Small Cap Fund. And here is my advice to you. I am going to send you the performance of my advice every quarter. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, client start giving money. So practice management, I told you very simply, if you cannot do this, don't worry. My company is going to put the entire digital effort of IFA. I'm going to put the entire marketing effort on a digital platform. You need to go and meet a client, come back, visit my website, write the name of the client, mobile number, email, tell what you told the client. A auto-generated email will be created. It will come on your inbox and you can shoot it to client. The performance will come every quarter. You can send performance to the client and create MFD alpha. what I am looking at to create MFD alpha for MFD. If you do that, then that part of the business can be monetized very, very easily. So don't depend on the fund manager, don't depend on the mutual fund industry, don't depend on the SEBI to come and rescue you. Things are in our hand. Take life in your hand, and in my opinion, you will do very, very well. So just last thing I'm telling you guys, I have created a mutual fund PMS portfolio and I'm publishing the performance every month. And I'm benchmarking it against NSE 50, NSE 500, and that portfolio I'm benchmarking against SBI FD. So again, I'm telling you, from my website, from my social media, you will get lots of interesting input. In 2020, we took a call to invest in pharma and PSU equity fund. In 2021, we asked investors to exit out of US equity. In 2022, first time after 3 years, we said long-term debt fund start investing. You don't get this kind of insight. I will give you this kind of insight to you people. Look at that. My job is to help MFD create alpha for them and their client. Thank you very much.